Curses and healing. You can look at my video about the curses and healing spoken over my daughter Hannah, and then the one about Rebecca. This one is about me. So when my older brother was born, he was fussy and he was difficult. They took him to the doctor and he said to my mom, "Your milk is too weak." That was a curse. He didn't say, "You need to go eat some roast beef and potatoes and gravy and drink a bunch of milk and water and make some milk that is rich and protein filled and full of fat and satisfying to this child." He said, "Your milk is no good." So when I was born, I didn't even get the colostrum. I didn't get anything. I went straight into this formula that this expert came up with. And it was carnation milk with water and polyvisol synthetic vitamins and Karo syrup. Well, guess who had hypoglycemia her whole life? Didn't really know what it was, just knew it was different than everybody else, and that I would lose my mind if I didn't eat a lot of protein every 4 hours. At home, that wasn't a problem because my mom always cooked a huge egg and meat filled breakfast. She cooked a big lunch. We had a snack before a very high protein dinner. It was very manageable. And when I was at school, we had really good lunch, really delicious lunches, and the cooks loved that I would always go back for more hamburger stew or whatever wholesome thing they cooked with protein in it. So when we hit the door, when we got home from school, Mom had a snack. It might just be, peanut butter and celery. I remember that one being one of my favorites when I was little, especially. But so it was managed. But as I got older, I began to notice that other people didn't lose their minds. They didn't have to eat every 4 hours. And, it was not okay. But I didn't ever really, I wasn't taught to go around looking for a diagnosis or anything like that. That just wasn't a thing. So when Hannah was born, she was about 3 months old. I went to a women's meeting at my church. And I sat up on the front right-hand chair with her carrier in the area, in the floor beside me, and hoping lunch would be soon. We had a potluck. And time goes on and time goes on, and this woman's still talking, and people are still praying, and things are happening, and I'm starting to get that feeling I'm going to lose it here. I'm going to be too weak to even hold Hannah. What do I do? And I thought, I'm just going to sneak in there and get some meat on the potluck. And then all of a sudden I went, no, I am not going to do that. So I thought, I can pick her up. It's a short walk, 3 steps up, turn the corner, and you'll be in the nursery, and there's a window and there's a speaker you can continue to hear. And so, when your blood sugar bottoms out, you're focused like, okay, 1 foot here, get this foot. So I did it. So then I got in there and I thought, I can lie down on the floor and put her on a pillow and I'll nurse her. I'll lie on my side, nurse her on the pillow. And so I did that. And then I burped her, I changed her. She's going to sleep. I put her back in her carrier. And all of a sudden, this speaker says, there's someone in here that needs to be healed of blood sugar issues. Well, you don't want to be the one to go forward. You just don't. Which is really dumb. And she says it again. She prays and she comes. She said, there is someone here that the Lord wants to heal of blood sugar issues. I went forward. She put her hands on me. Pam was there. She put her hands, and there was someone else. I don't know who the third person was now. I'm not sure. They began to pray for me, and I just knew that I was healed. And so I was on a high from that. Didn't need to be the first in line to get the food. And went home, told John about it. He was like, well, that's wonderful. And at home, it wasn't that noticeable because I had my habits. Eat this big breakfast, eat this big lunch, eat this good protein snack, eat this big dinner. You're good. But the next weekend we went to town. Well, that's a different story. You have your breakfast at like 7 in the morning, and it's going to be a long ways to lunch, so you're going to have to eat lunch first, timing everything all the time, ruled by this stupid thing. Just putting up with it all these years. And so John's like, are you okay? And I said, yeah. He goes, okay for me to go to Home Depot before we, yeah. And so I was like, just do it all before we eat, and then we don't have to think about it. And he keeps like, should we stop and get you something to tide you over? No, I'm good. So finally we go to lunch. It has been 7 hours since I ate breakfast. I have not gone 7 hours without food in as long as I can remember. And now it's like, oh, did I eat breakfast? I don't remember. Oh, fasting. They think fasting is 16 hours without food. That's nothing. It's wonderful. God healed me. But the catalyst was probably a lot of people praying, for one thing. But maybe not. I never talked about it. But the catalyst was when I finally got enough and said, I'm not going to have to sneak out and go sneak some food. I'm not doing this. So, I encourage you to just say no to the devil and his stupidity. And remember, John 10:10, that's your verse, Gospel of John, 10th chapter, 10th verse, words of Jesus in red. Don't be ignoring that. Don't be trying to religify that and say, yeah, but that this is not really. Well, how about this? Because my experience. Your experience doesn't matter unless your experience is victorious. Because then your experience is of God. And I'm sorry, I've had a lot of things in my life that weren't victorious. Pride makes me want to say, well, but maybe. But God's ways are simple, and Jesus healed all, and we miss healing all the time in all kinds of areas. But the healing begins when we step in and say, I am not living like this anymore. Please like, please subscribe, leave your comments, and please share. Thanks for being with me.